Hi, I'm Coach Tracey Knight, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Real Women, Real Leaders, Real Talk, where we're always going to be featuring topics that are important to women who are out here leading in their life, they're leading in the workplace, and they're leading in community. And so, in this particular segment, I want to talk about necessary endings. I tell you, no one really loves endings, and it's primarily because as human beings, we love to get nestled away and comfortable with the things that feel comfortable to us. So, oftentimes in relationships, even if a relationship is painful, if it is familiar to us and it's tolerable, we will stay in that relationship. And so it feels snuggly for us, much like those warm pajamas that you have in those winter months that you know you need to get rid of, but you haven't because they just feel so great. But you know that they're torn, they're tattered, they got holes in them, but you stay with them because it's oftentimes very familiar for you. So what I want to talk about here is why it's so important to allow those endings to really take place. So I had, as many leaders do, a team of people, of awesome individuals. And I had one team member who had been with me for like 5 years, absolutely amazing human being. And this individual had been with me for so long, like we actually are like sisters. I love her, still love her. She is my friend, she is my sister, a confidant. Just was extremely supportive, and we built a very solid relationship, working relationship, and friendship over the course of 5 years of working together. And so obviously we became very snuggly together because we knew each other. We would hang out sometimes, she'd visit, and it was just great. And I love the work that she did with me. I think that she grew a tremendous amount in working in my business. So we had a lot of success together. But then over time, I would say by about maybe year 4, I started wanting to do more and more. And I could always trust this individual that if I said I wanted to do something, she would go and try to make that happen. She would, even if she didn't know how to do it, she would go and try to figure it out. And that's what I loved about her, because that's the type of person I am, that kind of get up and go get it, go make it happen, find a way or make a way. And so what happened at about year 4, though, is there's only so much you can do with just figuring it out, especially when you're running at rapid pace. You've got to have time to slow down enough to really be able to perfect things. And I will admit that I probably kept piling more and more and more things on, because for me, I wanted to grow the business in a way that I've been envisioning for like 20 years. But it takes a lot of capacity to be able to grow your business, or to grow your life, or to grow your organization, your team in the way that you know that it can be. So it takes a lot of support systems to be able to do that. And when you have a small, intimate team, you have to be able to manage that growth in a way that is productive, where people don't get overwhelmed. Nonetheless, in this particular situation, I think what happened is we had gone as far as we could go together. I wanted more. She would always go and figure it out, but I wanted the level and the caliber of production that we were putting out to be faster, for it to be bigger, for there to be more volume. And I wanted it done, instantly, because we're trying to keep up with the marketplace. And that's the thing about technology. Like, it has us speeding up instead of us managing ourselves. And I'm so guilty of that. Nonetheless, what happened was it came to a point where we really had to make a decision as to whether or not she was a good fit for the business anymore and where we were going. I absolutely did not want to make that decision. So what I did was I would go out and I would find other people to kind of bring them in to support try to enhance. And I really thought that I was supporting her in doing that and supporting myself and supporting the business. But I think that that also may have caused some friction, because she always wanted to do an amazing job. And so over time, I think that that kind of war on the relationship, even though we had conversations, but, sometimes maybe things are left unsaid. That being said, she got to a place where she decided that she really had taken me as far as she could take me. And I was so devastated by that. I absolutely did not want to see her leave. I wanted us to continue to work together. And I thought to myself and said to her, like, hey, I really think we'll be able to figure this out. And she said, look, we've been trying to figure this out. Like, we've had a great run together. We've created some amazing work and impact in the marketplace. But what it is that you want and need, I don't have the ability to give it to you in the way that you want. And she's always been able to do that. And I just thought, no, we'll just figure it out. So, you just keep pushing on the pedal. And I just really was in such a state of denial because of the friendship, when I really knew that we were there. We were at that place where maybe we had outgrown each other. And so she decided that, December of this year would be the last year that she would work with me in the business in that way. And I would need to go out and find somebody else. But this person handled so many things in my business. And so I thought to myself, okay, I'm an entrepreneur, so I will figure it out. So I'm going to go out and I'll figure that out. But I tell you this to say that now that I am far removed from that it was such a necessary ending, because I got an opportunity to see just how nestled I was under her and how much I had allowed myself, like, sort of delegated out to other people and to her and to other team members. Like, this necessary ending gave me an opportunity to really pull back the covers on aspects of my business that I was not focused on, because I was over here doing this. And she was doing a great job as per usual, but what I had done is gotten comfortable allowing somebody else to take hold of the business in aspects that in areas that I really needed to know more about, because the business is growing. So this necessary ending forced me. It forced me, and she wanted me to do this, but I just wasn't willing, because I was so reliant on her in the past that I just really was not willing to really learn how to do some of the things that she was asking me to do. But her leaving the business forced me to have to do that. And it forced me to go out into the marketplace to find new talent. It forced me to bring in new systems into the business that have caused the business to grow exponentially at the rate, the capacity that I wanted it to grow. So that necessary ending created a new beginning. It created new beginning in me, because I have learned and grown so much since this individual's departure. Like, just as not only as an entrepreneur, but just as a woman, as an individual, because now that I'm removed from it, I can kind of see that I was so dependent on this individual. And as you grow your business, you are going to have to be dependent on people to perform their tasks. But there's no one person that's going to be with you the entire time. And that's true whether or not you are running a business, whether or not you're in a household, whether or not you're supporting a team. It doesn't really matter. There is no one person who is going to be with you forever. So what is super important, and I want to give you 3 tips that I've written down here so that you can sort of navigate through these life-changing, life-altering decisions of allowing necessary endings to happen. And one is to prune away the aspects of your life that are holding you back and focus on the goal. The goal for me is really to build a multi-billion-dollar personal empowerment conglomerate to heal and serve 1 million people per year. That is the vision and the goal. And everybody knows it because I say it all the time. It's posted up. I say it all the time. So am I more tied to the individual, or am I more committed to the goal? The answer to that is be committed to the goal, whether it is the goal is for you to be happy and to be in relationships that are joyful. So if that means that your marriage or your current relationship no longer serves you, then that may mean, and I'm not saying it does, but it may mean that there is a necessary ending if the marriage has served its purpose. Okay? If you are in the workplace and you are leading and another team member is not able to perform the task and they're not willing to develop the skills, it may be time for a necessary ending. Focus on what the goal is for the team. Focus on what the goal is for the family, for you as the individual, and be constantly committed to getting to that goal and making sure that you have the right talent, the right resources, the right support in place in order to get there. Number two is change can be very, very challenging at times, but creating a sense of urgency and taking a hard look at the current circumstances are going to boost your motivation to actually take action. So while I understand that change can be very uncomfortable for us, it's so important that you not be in denial in the way that I was. Being in denial just drags it out longer and creates more discomfort, more pain, and it causes things to lag behind. So be committed to being awake, like, and really looking, taking a hard look at what is really there, not what you want to be there. Get rid of the denial, get rid of the resistance. And then number three, ending a relationship can be particularly tough. So set standards and visualize what you want to accomplish after making the separation official. So you really want to, I espouse always living by a set of relationship standards. Now, this did not, for me, didn't change my love of this individual. We're still good friends and we can still have that. We just don't work together in the same way. So it doesn't mean that the relationship has to end, but the relationship in its current format, in its current form, has concluded. And so whenever we try to hold on to things and make them work and force them to fit, that's what creates a lot of pain and discomfort in our life. So allow yourself to experience new beginnings, which are right on the other side of necessary endings. Your higher power of your own understanding has set it up so that great things are waiting for you if you will just allow yourself to actually have it. So be courageous, be motivated, and keep your eye on the prize of whatever that vision is for you, the vision for your life, the vision for your relationships, the vision for your team, the vision for your business. Be committed to that and be committed to being the powerful person who can actually lead that by allowing necessary endings to take place whenever they are needed. I promise you that new beginnings are on the other side. This is Coach Tracey Knight, and I want to thank you for attending another episode of Real Women, Real Leaders, Real Talk. We'll be back again with you soon.